Off. Dolly May, Zizek's hustled up now to take the lead. Ankura on the outside is very fast too and comes right up alongside of Zizek's. Yvette's Surprise. Racing in between horses and down at the rail, Northeast Star. DeJoria is 3 wide. Dolly May, who broke right on top, settles nicely toward the back of the field with the trailer, Leopardess. 6 furlongs to run, and it's Zizek's. 1.5 lengths in front. Ankura is in second. They're followed by Northeast Star along the fence third. Now losing just a touch of ground to be 3 lengths off the pace with DeJoria's on the outside. Then it's Yvette's Surprise, fifth, 4 lengths off the lead. Dolly May moves up willingly at the rail, and Leopardess at the back. Zizek's past the half-mile pole, 1.5 lengths to Ankura in second. Northeast Star, DeJoria. Yvette's Surprise is next. Dolly May is down on the inside, 5 lengths off the lead, and Leopardess has trailed throughout. Around the far turn, and Ankura is up to take a narrow lead from Zizek's in second. 2 more to DeJoria third. Northeast Star's had a good trip at the rail. Angling out for the drive now as the field turns for home. And it's Ankura and Zizek's clear sailing for Northeast Star. And Dolly May is starting to rally behind this trio. They're in the final furlong. Northeast Star comes to Ankura. They're coming for the wire together. And Northeast Star surges past late to win it by a length. Ankura was second. Then it was Dolly May, Leopardess from last, and a photo involving Zizek's for fifth. .85 seconds. It's official. The fourth begins the pick 6. No changes. They'll be at the gate in 23 minutes. The fence will be the last one. And they're off. Easter coming back. The fence on the far outside. Chasing Cat in the yellow. Here's Really Thirsty now moving through along the inside. Big Pop, just 2 lengths off the pace. Then it's Roberta's Love, and Be a Goldfish is far back. Down the back stretch, it's a contested battle. It's Really Thirsty along the inside. Chasing Cat in between now takes a narrow lead. Easter coming back. Big Pop in the red. Big Pop engages. Chasing Cat 3 furlongs from home. Just behind this group is Roberta's Love, inching up on the outside to take fourth. A big gap back to the fence and Be a Goldfish. 1/4 mile to go. Big Pop takes the lead pretty easily away from Chasing Cat in second. Just behind them, Really Thirsty in third, and then Roberta's Love. And Chasing Cat comes right back, had something in the tank. Big Pop now all out second as they come past the 8th pole. Chasing Cat, Big Pop. Chasing Cat on the inside. Big Pop once again in front. And it is Big Pop close to the wire. Big Pop wins at first asking. Chasing Cat in a photo with Roberta's Love. Then Be a Goldfish and Really Thirsty. Thank you, racing fans, for continuously be the last one to load. We're in the gate. And they're off. Perfect start. Jessie Bear along the inside. I'll Have Another Kiss sprints up to take over, and Roman Empress slides into second. Jessie Bear at the rail in third. Sensible Move is 3 wide into the first turn with Turioff between those two. Then Abita and Rough Ride. Rounding the clubhouse turn, I'll Have Another Kiss opens up. It's a 4-length lead already as they make their way onto the backstretch. On the outside, Roman Empress is in second, followed by Jessie Bear, who's now 7 lengths off this front-running I'll Have Another Kiss. That group followed by Turioff, inside Sensible Move, Abita, and Rough Ride. Heading to the half-mile pole, I'll Have Another Kiss. Just trying to make this a runaway. leads it by 5. Jesse Bear clearly second now, as Turioff inches up, moving nicely along the inside to be a joint second. Roman Empress has lost some ground in fourth. They're followed by Sensible Move and Abita. Rough Ride is at the back. I'll Have Another Kiss maintains the lead midway on the far turn. 3-length cushion on Jesse Bear. Sensible Move, 3 deep. Turioff is at the rail. From the back of the field, Rough Ride is trying to pick up some pieces. Coming to the 8th pole, I'll Have Another Kiss. Jesse Bear. Abita is now starting to finish well in the center of the course. A 16th to go. I'll Have Another Kiss. Here comes Abita and Hector Barrios on the outside. And Rough Ride takes off fast. Rough Ride with an explosive kick runs them all down. Abita was second. Jesse Bear, I'll Have Another Kiss. Centurion. Commander D, there's no high five wagering. Fans, you could still get on track by wagering at least 15. Cody Boy to the outside. And they're off. Fast start for Known Idea. Cody Boy, extreme outside, has some early foot. Vodka moves up to take second. Then it's Uncle Chili, one from the rail, moving right into contention. Jay Dutton is next. And the favorite 2x4, who was off slowly, is 8 or 9. Off the front runner, Known Idea, who goes to the half-mile pole, a half length in front of Vodka second. Then it's Cody Boy in third. Jay Dutton at the rail, moves up, takes third. Uncle Chili is next, and still a gap of 8 to 2x4. Into the far turn. And Known Idea leads the way a length and a half. Vodka second. Jay Dutton inching closer with every stride. Jay Dutton takes second at the 5/16 pole. Here's Uncle Chili in fourth. And now 2x4 starts to roll from behind. 8 lengths off Known Idea as the field turns for home. Known Idea, Jay Dutton in second. 2x4 hugs the rail and continues to finish well. And Uncle Chili on the outside, a final furlong. And it's Known Idea. Room at the rail for 2x4. Outside Jay Dutton and Uncle Chili coming toward the wire. Known Idea, 2x4. Outside Jay Dutton. Here's the line. 2x4 from last to first under Flavien Prat. What a day for Clubhouse Ride. That's his third win. Known Idea completes the Legacy Ranch Exacta. 1:17.40 seconds. We're in the gate. And they're off. Nabokov is out very quickly. Dontich came away smoothly from the outside post, but it is Nabokov who speeds clear to lead a length and a half. First Piece is now in second. Dontich up close in third. They're followed on the inside by Beef Winslow, who inches up to take the third spot. Mas Rapido under a tight hold fifth, 7 lengths off the lead. They're followed by Rayquist, and it's a gap of 4 back to Panic Alarm and Love Sick Blues at the back of the field. Nabokov, with less than a half mile to go, leads it by 2 over First Piece in second. Dontich inching up on the outside. They're followed by Beef Winslow, a comfortable 4, just 3 lengths off the lead. Mas Rapido, Yellow Cap, is in the 5th spot. Another 2 back to Rayquist as they cross the dirt and come for home. And here's Beef Winslow with that sweet trip up to take the lead. Chased by the gray First Piece in second. Nabokov is backing up. Down on the inside comes Rayquist, a 16th to go. Beef Winslow or First Piece. First Piece, Beef Winslow, head and head for the wire. First Piece confidently handled, and First Piece gets up under Mike Smith. Beef Winslow fired big and finished second. Then it was Mas Rapido. Lovesick Blues came on late to get a piece of the minor awards. We're in the gate. And they're off. Good vibes only, out very alertly. Will be in sharp as attack, comes away in third. They're followed by Tarantino in fourth, 4 lengths off the lead. Passed now by More Tequila. Matanzas Creek wasn't quick out of the gate, and it's a big gap to Do You See What I See? Will be with 4.5 furlongs to go. Dueling and Good Vibes Only on the outside is right there. Sharp as attack under a tight hold. Tracks the top pair from third. Then More Tequila fourth. Matanzas Creek is in fifth, 4 lengths off the lead, moving up very nicely along the rail. A gap of 4 back to Tarantino. And Do You See What I See far back? Good Vibes Only will be head and head with Sharp as Attack looming just behind them in third. Matanzas Creek patiently handled, guided smoothly to the outside in fourth now. And here's Matanzas Creek coming after Sharp as Attack at the top of the lane. Sharp as Attack on the outside will be Matanzas Creek set down, followed by Good Vibes Only. They're in the final furlong, and Sharp as Attack has a 2-length lead on Matanzas Creek, and it's Sharp as Attack drifting while holding on. Sharp as a tack indeed. Matanzas Creek second. Tarantino finished nicely in third. Then it was Will Be and Good Vibes Only. Internationals, our furry friends will be involved in thrilling races throughout the day in the North Infield, and the final heat will be run on our main track. Don't miss the Corgis coming up. The last one is Numero D's. They're in the gate, and they're off. Mega Moon is out very quickly, a little crowding at the back of the field. Here's Gold Council on the far outside coming up to take second. Sanger broke well, but settles, actually not settling, but tugging right behind this front runner. And then behind them, Autoline is under a tight hold. The same can be said for Remote in between, Smooth Salute in between, and Remote moves up on the outside. Smooth Salute still throwing his head around. Crypto Man is toward the back of the field. The 2 trailers, Lahaina Flavor and Numero D's. Around the first turn, and it's Mega Moon to set the pace, leading a length and a half to Remote, moving into second. Then Gold Council outside of Sanger. Sanger on the inside under a tight hold third. They're followed by Autoline, who's by himself fifth, 4 lengths off the lead. 2 more back to Smooth Salute in the red colors, racing on the outside of Crypto Man. Then it's another couple to Lahaina Flavor and Numero D's. Mega Moon and Remote will go past the half-mile pole together, with Sanger just behind them third. They're followed by Gold Council in fourth. Smooth Salute can wait no longer, and there goes Smooth Salute. He's been tugging for some time, and he's now within a half length of the pacemaker, while Sanger is down on the inside now in fourth. Autoline is in between rivals, racing 2 clear of Crypto Man, Lahaina Flavor, and Numero D's. A quarter to go, and it's Mega Moon, Smooth Salute wide on the outside. In between those 2, Remote has lost some ground in third. Clear sailing for Autoline. Sanger on the inside, losing ground. They're in the final furlong. The lead still belongs to Mega Moon. Mega Moon game on the front end, a length and a half. Lahaina Flavor is surfacing. Smooth Salute is still in second. It will be Mega Moon. Mega Moon and Flavian Pratt, 3/4 of a length. Very close for second between an oncoming Lahaina Flavor and Smooth Salute. Autoline was in that battle, and Numero D's on the scene late.
As you just saw in the graphic, everything is free today. Free admission, free parking, free Fridays, and more importantly, our seminar guest is making an appearance today. She's free as well. Her name's Zoe Cadman. Zoe, welcome to the seminar.
Free? You're cheaping me up. I'm very expensive.
You are very expensive, particularly now since you're an Eclipse Award winner. There's not many people that work at Sandy that can lay claim to being an Eclipse Award winner. Do tell how you were part of that whole team that earned the Eclipse Award.
Well, it was a team effort, to be perfectly honest. I do a podcast every week called the TDN Writers Room with the TDN, which is probably your main thoroughbred racing newspaper. It comes out every day online.
Bill Finley, Randy Moss.
Exactly.
The horse racing Randy Moss.
The horse racing,
Right.
Be careful of that one. He's white with no hair. So I do that one every week with those guys. And we had Carson and Wade Yost on now. He has a horse called Carson's Run, and his son has the same syndrome that Cody Dorman had.
Sure.
So he had him in the shot, and he was just a very emotional guy talking about Carson's Run, who actually did run in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Didn't run any good, but we'll see him come back again. And it was just a lovely interview with the father who served in the Gulf War, just being extremely emotional, and it was submitted for an Eclipse Award. And they won. We actually sent the Eclipse Award to Carson and Wade Yost with their name on it and sent it to them because it was he who really earned that Eclipse Award. I said, that's like winning an Oscar. You realize that?
We're in the interview business, Zoe. Did you know when you were doing the interview that it might be one of those things where it was really, Eclipse Award
Honestly,
noteworthy?
we didn't do anything special. It was just the story.
It was the emotion.
It was the emotion and the story. We just sat there like we always did, like a bunch of plonkers.
So one would assume you have on your mantle at home a nice Eclipse Award, the old bronze statue.
That's what I said. I went down there and we got on the stage. And
down to Florida, by the way.
Down to Florida. Right. The media Eclipse Awards get there. You have to have it to 30 seconds per Amy Zimmerman, who runs the Eclipse Awards.
She's the boss.
So we all did 10 seconds each. I had doodle in my little bit. Went down there, got on the stage, and I said, do we get to keep this?
Right.
We were obviously sending that one to Wade and Carson Yost, and they're like, well, no, but you can buy one if you want. I'm like, okay, well, might be nice on that.
$200 maybe.
How much? $3,500. I was like, yeah, I'm good.
A little out of your budget?
Yeah. I'm good. I think I have
But no one can ever take it away from you. You might not be able to display it to your friends on your mantle, but you can talk about it like you're doing right now.
Hey, Jessica Pfeiffer lives around the corner from me.
She's got one.
I've already gone and stolen hers off the mantle. She doesn't know yet, but it's on my mantle right now.
On Twitter, Zoe, you describe yourself as a jack of all trades. And of course you are, because you carry a lot of batons here at San Diego. You also consider yourself a journalist. But on the dark days, because we live in Southern California, one of the things you like to do is go skiing. This week I saw on Twitter you posted a very obscure picture, was just the tip of your skis. Didn't say where you were at or who you were with. You know me, I'm kind of a nosy guy. Who were you with and what were you doing?
I actually went on Monday on my own.
Okay.
Up to Snow Valley.
Did you take Doodle?
No, I did not. I had to go pick up my season pass, and Hector, who works on the gate, was going to come with me. And he bailed at the last minute. I'm like, sod it. I'm going to go on my own. And it was actually great.
Unbelievable, given the snow we had, right?
It was great. So the next day, I went with Dr. Laurie, who works here at Santa Anita, and Jack Stack, who gallops. The three of us went up. They're both snowboarding. I'm skiing. So, I went Monday and Tuesday, and it was great. You know what? Life's too short to just do nothing.
You're a big believer in that.
You
are a big believer in that.
On my tombstone, should I die tomorrow, I just want a life well lived.
And you're certainly trying to achieve that each and every day.
As long as you work hard, you can play hard, right?
For sure.
So I'm a big believer in both.
Now, are you an intermediate, advanced, or expert skier? Like, what classification are you?
I suck. We took Frankie last year, right? Frankie Dettori came skiing with us last year. And we all get in the truck and we go up to Big Bear. And Frankie's obviously, of course, he's Frankie Dettori.
He's the best.
So,
in everything he does.
He's a very good skier. And he was like going down. And Mum's like, was that Frankie Dettori with you skiing? I'm like, yes, Mum, because grandmas love Frankie Dettori in England. I'm like, that was Frankie. She's like, oh, I just love Frankie. I love Frankie. I'm like, yeah, get in line. Sure. But he's a very, very good skier, which isn't a surprise. I'm probably intermediate. I would like to sashay down the mountain and look very elegant and genteel. I go skiing with Carla Gaines a lot.
Is she pretty good?
Oh, my goodness.
She's from Alabama. Excellent. Where'd she learn to ski?
She's been skiing for years. She goes straight down like that, and she goes very fast. She could go down with a tequila in one hand and a ski in the other and be absolutely fine. She's an excellent skier. So those are basically the people that I go skiing with. I just follow along.
We're going to have Zoe sashay through the 9-race card, but before we do any of that, let's toss the microphone over to track announcer Frank Miramati and get the early changes, which are minimal, on today's Friday's 9-race card here at the Great Race Place.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Santa Anita Park, the Great Race Place. Here are the early changes. They're fast and firm with the rail on the turf at 20 feet. No changes in the opener. No changes in race number 2. No changes in the 3rd. The 4th race starts the $1 pick 6. We have a couple of blinker notes. In the 5th race, we kick off the all-turf pick 3 on races 5, 7, and 9. There's no super high 5 wagering due to the scratch of number 6, Red Diamond. Race 6, scratch number 2, Miss Commander, begins the late pick 4. In the 7th, scratch number 7, Living Life, and the program scratch of number 9. Explain this audit. Golden Hour pick 4 is back today. 8th race, scratch number 6, Oncoming. And in the 9th, scratch the also eligibles, 11 and 12. Golden Hour double starts with the finale. Enjoy your day at Santa Anita Park. Post time for the first in 58 minutes. At 12:30. Enjoy free admission Friday. We've got $3 beers, $5 margaritas, and drink specials today. Let's go back to the studio. Quigley's Corner. Tom's special guest today is Zoe Cadman.
Welcome back. We're talking horses with Zoe Cadman. You can see her each and every day on the Santa Anita simulcast feed. Where's your assignment today, love? Are you on the desk? Are you at the gate? Are you in the paddock? You kind of rotate all around.
We do, which is great. I like that. I'm actually in the paddock, annoying as many people as I can. So if you see me headed towards you, run really fast. I might be faster.
All kidding aside, how many wave-offs do you get on a typical day? You know, there's some people, male or female, who are a little camera shy. I don't want to spill all the beans to you necessarily on live TV.
It's usually 2 or 3.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then in the future, do you just avoid them, or do you go back for more?
No, I always go back. I'm like a terrier. I'll just keep biting your ankles.
You talked earlier, Zoe, about how you like to live life. And one of the excursions you went on in your experience to try and love life was being a jockey. So talk to us. And I don't think I've ever asked you this question. What made you decide to become a jockey? In other words, did you start out as an exercise rider? I don't really know the beginning of your riding career. So what was the transition? How did you become a jockey?
I was in England, actually, and I wanted to be a jockey. And at that time in England, you had to be related to someone or very far up the ladder to even get a shot being a girl in England. So a friend of mine said, why don't you go over and work for Michael Dickinson?
Had you ever been to the United States before?
No. So I got a hold of Michael. He got me a 1-year visa. We went over. I soon quickly discovered I knew nothing about American racing whatsoever. He's like, going 36. I'm like, 36 what? 36 days? 36 hours? Like, what are we talking here? Had no idea. He put, he was like one of the first people to use walkie-talkies. We're talking 1994. I'm aging myself here. Sure. I came over, I was 19.
You were a young kid.
And didn't know a soul. And he taught us pace and speed.
Was there a group of you when you said us?
There were 3 of us.
Okay.
So we worked in pairs and did an awful lot of that. And I probably left a year later and realized I still didn't know enough. And I went to go work for a guy called Christopher Speckett in Kentucky. He used to be out
train out here, sure.
Pleasant Tap.
Breeders' Cup winner.
And I needed a sponsor for my green card at that time because I was running around jumping fences as an illegal alien. So he sponsored me for my green card, which I did get in due time. It took 5 or 6 years. And then I went to go work for Mike Stidham after that and rode a bunch of schooling races down in New Orleans because I always wanted to be a jockey. And then Mike said, when you get your green card and everything comes through, I'm going to put you on your first one.
Very cool. Now, Michael Dickinson, lore has it that before DeHaas won the turf race, I believe at Churchill Downs in the Breeders' Cup Mile, he walked the turf course in high heels to gauge the depth of the turf course. Were those your high heels that he borrowed?
He's got big feet, so no. Not mine.
Is that story
I think
true?
Joan walked with him in her heels.
Is that story true? As far as you know?
No, he didn't walk in.
But he's a
heels.
pretty eccentric guy.
Very. He's completely nuts, but he's a mad genius. A mad genius. And I can assure you this, when this Tapeta track goes in on the training track here, that's his baby. And Joan Wakefield, who's his wife, that's their baby.
They'll be here.
It'll be the best track that Santa Anita has seen as far as being a synthetic track. They basically mark it to what the weather is. I can absolutely guarantee that his track, it's been all over the world, and they market it to the weather, will be the best one.
Here's a story you or anybody watching doesn't know. Michael and I actually attended the Racetrack Industry Program Symposium one year together. We met up in the Tucson airport. We rented a convertible, and just he and I drove up into the foothills of Tucson to attend the symposium. You can imagine the stories we shared on that 30-minute car ride. He's a character.
Yes, he is. And today, if you go to his farm, you'll find shoe boxes of all kinds of Tapeta track, from like year 1 to like year 25 now. Like he's just got a mind. Him and Joan, like it's basically her business now. It's amazing to see. It really is.
Well, Michael's a mad genius, but I consider you a mad genius as well,
Just
Zoe.
call me
so
mad.
Let's take a look through today's 9-race card. Kicking things off in race number 1, which starts the 50-cent early pick 5. We're sprinting 6 furlongs in the turf course. The rails today are at 30 feet on the turf course, and this race is for maiden special weight Calbreds. We've got a field of 7 in the Moyer Line favorite, and the current betting choice is number 3, Sneak a Smile from the Dean Pedersen barn. 2-1 currently on the tote board, Zoe. Give us your thoughts on race 1.
I see this race 3, 4, 2, 5, and that's the 3 Sneak a Smile on top here. Now, I went back and watched a replay this morning because I don't really like reading the running lines. I like to make my own assumption on the running lines. It said led inside, upper, steady, late, and I wanted to see how bad was it. Now,
particularly the steadied late.
Exactly. Bronco Nagurski was lugging in like crazy coming down the lane. This horse was never beating Bronco Nagurski, but still ran a good race, did get checked slightly in the shadow of the wire. But coming back, going 6 furlongs today, I think Sneak a Smile is the way to go in here.
What about number 6, Dark Marcus, who's going to be one of the betting choices, Zoe? You don't have him on top, or in part of your top 2 at least, but an 0 for 18 maiden who has 9 seconds or thirds. The only reason why I bring him up is Slam Dunk and Peter Miller track the riding services of Frankie Dettori for the very first time. Do you read anything into, maybe not in this particular situation, but change in jockeys in situations like this?
I mean, anytime you can get Frankie is a plus, right? No slight against Diego Herrera. And I probably just don't have Dark Marcus in here because I'm not that smart. He did run well going 6.5 furlongs back in June of last year, where he was only beaten 2 lengths of Ryan Kuratala. So I cannot talk you off of Dark Marcus in here. I used the 4-second, that's Rhythm on Stage, for number 1 skier Carla Gaines in here. I think third race off the layoff for this son of Uptown Rhythm is really going to hit him right between the eyeballs. And I don't know about the 549 gold in here. We looked at him at the 2-year-old sale, the OBS April sale. He sold for $280,000, which is 140 times his stud fee. He's by US Ranger. Like, that is simply, it just boggled me at the time. He does need turf. He worked very well on the safe track down there at OBS. His works on the main track just okay. So if he can move forward on the grass, he's probably going to be okay.
That's part of your jack of all trades resume, Zoe, is you also go to all the sales. Primarily Ocala is the ones that I know most frequently, simply because it happens during our current winter spring meet. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's okay. It's business. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is maybe one of the most successful horses you found at auction collected from the Bob Baffert barn? That's just off the top of my head. I don't know what other horses you've been involved with buying.
Well, I work with Moret Farrell. And Tesha von Blucher, but collected will be one of them. But Corniche.
Sure.
Corniche. We paid a lot of money for Corniche.
What did you pay, by the way?
1.5 million.
Okay.
Yeah. So it would be, I mean, he's a champion 2-year-old. So.
And is he at stud now?
Yes, his first baby's just landed on the ground just a few days ago.
Oh, wow. Beautiful. Something to look forward to.
Lovely, strong, fast-looking fillies.
Race number 2 begins the 50-cent early pick for. This race is 1 mile on the main track for Calbred, fillies and mares, non-winners of one other than. We've got a field of 5. Morning line favorite is number 3, Tizzy Twister, who's 2-1 on the tote board. But you told me off air, Zoe, that this is the race. This is basically where your best bet resides. All in.
I'm all in. I'm all in. And you know what? I was all in yesterday with Court Snort as well. She was scratched out of a turf race yesterday. She's 4-1. If you can get anywhere close to 4-1 on Court Snort, go right ahead for trainer Leo Powell. This is the house horse training for his wife, so the pressure's on.
He better win.
He better win. He's 50% off the claim. You can't go against that. Claimed off of Steve Knapp. He said this filly's doing really well. She's eating up everything. I guarantee she's going to look like $1 million. You get Pratt, you're probably going to wind up with the favorite.
And race number 3, let's turn the page, Zoe, and take a look at race 3, which is 6 furlongs in the turf course. Fillies and mares in for a $32,000 tag. We've got a field of 6. Number 3, Stressed from the Peter Urton barn is the 2-1 morning line favorite. Before we get your thoughts on the race, Zoe, I want to watch a replay back on January 19th. It's the 6th race. And the reason why I want to show this replay is both Teen Drama and Dulce Emma exit this race. This replay we're about to watch was at 5 furlongs. Today's distance is at 6 furlongs. But we get a little bit of a bonus, too, because this race also contains a runner in race number 5 today who's running, and that's YOLO Calls, who's also from the Peter Urton barn. So we get a bonus to watch that replay for YOLO Calls as well. So let's listen to Frank Miramati describe the action back on January 19th, the 6th race here at Santa Anita.
Off. Gritty Girl and Teen Drama are both out alertly. YOLO Calls along the rail, comes away in 3rd. Then it's Gypsy Lynn, Dulce Emma, and 2 more to a new piece. It's Gritty Girl past the half-mile pole, opening up 3. Teen Drama, YOLO Calls along the rail is in 3rd. It's another 2 back to Gypsy Lynn, racing inside Dulce Emma, and a new piece behind that pair. Around the turn and Gritty Girl, 2.5 length advantage. On the outside, Teen Drama and YOLO Calls are both chasing. 3 more lengths to Gypsy Lynn and Dulce Emma as a new piece swings to the outside. There's an 1/8 to go, and Gritty Girl trying to hold this lead by a 1.5 lengths. Teen Drama closing in. On the outside, Dulce Emma is also kicking in. YOLO Calls between horses. It's a driving finish, including a new piece who's flying late. Here's the line. Photo finish. That is so close between a new piece.
Zoe, Flavien Prat doesn't get out finished very often, and he didn't in this particular case as well because Teen Drama held on, holding off the late furious charge of a new piece. But we saw Dulce Emma also making up ground, and that's the reason why I pointed out the distance of that replay. 5 furlongs then, 6 furlongs today. Did that impact your decision here?
I actually really like Dulce Emma in here, 6'4", 3'5", with her on top, on the outside. Like you said, just beating 3/4 the length last time out. She will appreciate the move up in distance. I had trouble with this race even before that replay because honestly, I thought they were all about the same. I actually went and looked at some of the sheet numbers just to try and figure it out. And Teen Drama and Dulce Emma both got the same sheet numbers last time, which is a 14 on the Ragson. So that kind of shoved me that way if all else fails. That's usually my last resort because I was just throwing my arms up going, oh, I don't know who I like in here. But it'll be Dulce Emma on the outside.
Sometimes the races are inscrutable, aren't they?
I know.
They're supposed to be. And by the way, that's kind of symbolic of today's card, right? There are a lot of races that fit that profile. It looks to be maybe a card where there's a bit of chaos because you can't sink your teeth into 1 or 2 main contenders.
Only one, Court Snort, is the only one that I like today. The rest of them, it could be anyone's game.
Race number 4 begins the $1 pick 6. This race, we're sprinting 6 furlongs on the main track. It's a maiden optional claiming race for 3-year-old fillies. We've got a field of 7, number 4, Avois, who's never been on the main track and putting blinkers on today for trainer Peter Miller, as well as adding Lasix, is the 2-1 morning line favorite. Again, before we get your thoughts on the race, Zoe, this time I want to watch a workout for number 1, Pacific Rose, who also is putting blinkers on off the relatively short layoff. She's the gray down on the inside. She's a daughter of, if I can find my page here.
She's on the outside.
I'm sorry, she's on the outside. No, I don't think so.
outside Pacific Rose.
Okay, I was
The
confused.
Shushala, who's in the later race today.
Yes, in race number 9. That's the workman. That's one of the two things I wanted to say. But Pacific Rose is on the outside. The Shushala is down on the inside. And I think this is a really good workout because there's no indication in the racing form, Zoe, that Pacific Rose wants to go 2 turns. She did try sprinting twice in her career, once on the main track, and it was kind of an even effort. But the fact she's able to hang tough with the Shushala, who broke her maiden on debut, I think bodes well. And maybe the additional blinkers, which she's wearing in this workout, maybe the Lasix, maybe just natural maturation, turning 3 years old or 3 years old. I think this is actually a really good workout.
Is she wearing blinkers?
She is. Believe me, she is.
Okay.
You're questioning my eyesight and my memory now, but she is.
Okay. I'm with you. Decent enough work. Gets the blinkers on, gets first-time Lasix, which really keyed me in. And she's got a good series of work. I mean, more notably, that 58-3 out of the gate on the 28th of January really jumped off the page. But I see this race 4-1-5-7 with the 4 of Wa on top. Another one with the blinkers on. Honestly, I couldn't really see what kind of trouble she got into last time. I watched the replay. It says she got put up to 3rd. She was 4th. But I couldn't really figure out where.
Zoe, we see Avoir's been working down at San Luis Rey exclusively since last being seen in the afternoon in late October. Have you spent much, if any, time down at San Luis Rey?
No, unfortunately. I wish we could get a team down there and get some work.
But I meant more just personally going down there.
I've been down there a few times to shoot some features and everything. It's a beautiful place to train a horse. It really is. It's nice and quiet. The track's good. Tends to run a little bit on the slow side. So if you see like a minute and change work down there at San Luis Rey, it's a big thumbs up. That's one thing to really key in on.
Race number 5, we're sprinting on the turf course. 6 furlongs the distance. Fillies and mares, non-winners of 3 races lifetime, in for a $30,000 tag. Scratch the 6, Red Diamond, leaves us with a field of 6. Also, race 5 begins the 50-cent late pick 4 and the new $3 all turf pick 3. 6 ways you can go here, Zoe. Which way you going?
Well, of course, YOLO. You only live once. YOLO calls for trainer Peter Urton. We already saw the horse in that replay a little bit earlier on. Didn't really get into too much trouble, but back in for the 30 today. Ran very well with Frankie last time. Keeps Frankie aboard and gets an extra furlong to work with.
And you also give a little love to number 1, Topolina, who we haven't seen since April from the Doug O'Neill barn. She's a lightly raced 5-year-old mare with just 7 career starts. What'd you see in her?
I actually looked at the sheet numbers on her, and she's got a decent sheet number for the level, 16, as YOLO Call does. She's coming off a layoff. Doug O'Neill's been on fire. His horse has been coming over, looking really well. You get Fresu aboard, so I'm thinking she's going to get a little easier trip. She might still be on the lead, but she's not going to be sent. If she comes by it honestly, I think she'll be on the lead, but Fresu's not really too much of a send rider, so we'll see where he opts to put her. There's not really a whole lot of speed in here, bar a couple.
You make a good point, Zoe, that I want to kind of dig a little bit deeper on. And then as you talked about how the Doug O'Neill horses look good coming over, and you've got the perfect vantage point before they go to be saddled in the saddling area. You know, we all do the work from a handicapping standpoint, and we fall on a horse. Let's just say YOLO Calls as an example. And then she comes over and all of a sudden she's washed out and looks horrible. How do you pivot? How do you adjust in terms of taking into account how they look at that moment versus all the work you did putting the time in handicapping the race?
That's a problem with exotic wagers. Do you know what I mean?
I know very well what you mean.
Because all of a sudden you can see a horse you loved on paper and they walk over and they look like they've lost 100 pounds. They're wrung out. They look stressed. They look worried. And you're like, oh, and that's the one I singled. Just shoot me now. So, yeah, it does make a big difference. Just key in on the ones you like, to be perfectly honest. Antonio Garcia ran a filly yesterday. I can't remember her name, but she was 8-1. She'd been with a different trainer before. And when she walked over into the paddock, she was coming off the left. I have never seen her look any better than she did at that particular time. She ran second. She just got beat a zap. But sometimes horses do better in new barns, and that's one thing to look at as well.
I talk about how looking at them in the paddock is kind of the last frontier of handicapping, right? Because we're all looking at the same information in the racing form. You're talking about the sheets. Everybody has access to that. But not everybody has access to looking at horses and being able to evaluate them. And you and the rest of the broadcast team does such a great job. That's really invaluable information because it's right now, today, in front of your eyes. It's not history, which is all the racing form reflects.
Oh, I thank you. Well, we got a good team. I mean, Millie knows what she's looking at. Michelle knows what she's looking at. Jess gets on half of the ones that run. Anyway, she's working for Mark Glatt now. So, I mean, he's the hottest trainer
Maybe that's
on
why
the
he's,
grounds, right? I'm like, it's Jesse's the magic potion in that farm. That's what's going on. But yeah, it's fun. We all have a little bit of a different insight. And as far as horses coming off layouts, I like to, you can really see if a horse is fit or not.
Yes, you can. I totally subscribe to that.
And we weigh them. You can check the weights.
I write them down in the racing form because, like you said, they can, Charlie Whittingham was right? They're like fruits and vegetables. They can spoil overnight.
Yeah.
And, that's true with horses. They're living, breathing animals. They're not machines. You mentioned horses going into new barns, first off the claim, change in surface, change in distance. A lot's going on, and you always got to trust your eyes. That's kind of my motto.
Absolutely.
Race number 6 begins the 50-cent late pick 4. We're sprinting the abbreviated sprint distance of 5.5 furlongs in the main track for fillies and mares, $16,000 claimers, non-winners of 2 races lifetime. Scratch the 2, Miss Commander, the morning lane favorite, number 5, One Smoking Moon, who is putting blinkers on for owner-trainer Ruben Alvarado. 5-2 according to John White. What's race 6 according to Zoe Cadman?
5-2-8 for me. I like One Smoking Moon. Sorry, I'm coming with chalk. I feel like Leo yesterday. For Ruben Alvarado, Ruben's a very, very good trainer. He just doesn't have the horses right now. She gets the blinkers on. She's in the right spot. She broke a maiden for 50. They tried the starter. They tried long on the turf, and now they're like, okay, enough. Let's just try this on 2 for 16. So One Smoking Moon is in there. I like what I've seen from Jeremy Laprida.
Yes.
He's won over 1,400 races in Panama. He's won almost 300 here stateside.
Primarily rides in the mid-Atlantic region.
Yeah, he was riding up at Parks. Good rider. Sits well on a horse, works horses well, nice guy, and has been riding smart races.
And kudos to his agent, Patty Sterling, as well. She's getting him on the live mounts. 2 for 8 so far this meet with limited opportunities. You talked about Ruben Alvarado being a shrewd horseman. Take a look at his purchase price for One Smoking Moon. He bought this filly for $4,000 in January of 2023. He didn't get her to the races until October, but take a look at what she's won already. $25,000. If she gets claimed today for $16,000, he still hit a home run with her. And like you said, she could be tough. She could be very tough on the drop. Race number 7, we're running the marathon distance of 1.25 miles on the turf course. It's an allowance optional claiming race. Non-winners of 1 other than. Scratch your favorite horse, number 7, Living Life, as well as number 9, Explain This Audit. Leaves us with a field of 9. Number 5, Alligato, a very tough, hard-knocking Calbred, is the 5-2 morning line favorite from the aforementioned Mark Latbarn. This, to me, was a very tough race, Zoe. How'd you see it?
It's a super tough race, and Alligato really deserves to win. He's a hard-knocking son of the now deceased Kitten's Joy. His last win came against State Breds. If you look at his form, you're like, he's camera shy. Maybe he's not putting out. He tries every single time. You can see it in his works in the morning. He wants to get to the wire first. If any horse deserves to win, it's Alligato in here. However, I didn't pick him on top. I'm just going to root for him.
You went with your countryman, Jonathan Thomas.
I did. How do we say this horse's name?
Spagalito.
Spagalito. Yes, beaten just 3.25 lengths last time out. Hula Candy came back to win. That was the first race off a long layoff. Listen, if Web Slinger was in here, he'd be 1-9. And this horse just got beaten 3/4 length by Web Slinger. So that's the way to go. I think you're getting a good price on him by Quality Road out of Cover Song, who Carla Gaines trained out here stateside. I like the One Resultant to be second. This is extremely tough gelding that Ryan Hansen trained. I tried to clip him, and we use tranquilizer when we clip them. It's a long ways away from race day. We literally had to trank this horse 3 times to clip him. He wasn't having any of it.
And he's a gelding.
I saw him schooling in the paddock yesterday. He was bucking and kicking. He is as tough as nails. And I think Ryan Hansen, I think he might fit the Ryan Hansen barn. He was only beaten 2.5 lengths last time out. I believe he's going to run a big race. Well, we talked about seeing is believing. And so 3 runners in this race, Zoe, actually exit the same race. It was back on January 6th. It includes your top choice in this race, Spagliato, which is the correct pronunciation. Number 10, Single Track Mind, as well as number 11, Maltese Falcon. They all exit this replay we're about to watch. They're going to be easy to follow because they're the last 3 horses entering the clubhouse turn for the very first time. They all put in late runs. So let's listen to Frank Miramati describe the action back on January 6th for the 9th race that day. And they're off. Quick
Quick start for Mark's Hip. Single Track Mind is up in the leading group. And now here's Irish Prophet moving alongside the pacemaker as Tesoro sprints up now. And so it's Tesoro and Mark's Hip by the stands the first time. Irish Prophet and Reckless Spirit are side by side. And just behind them comes Legislator down at the rail. Hula Candy and One of These Days settles just behind that pair. Single Track Mind is next, racing side by side with Lahaina Flavor. Outside of them, it's Spagliato, and at the rail comes Maltese Falcon in his red silks. Around the clubhouse turn, Mark's Hip, 2-length lead. Tesoro is in second, and Irish Prophet has settled down at the rail in third. It's two more back to Reckless Spirit, followed by Legislator in fifth, 6 lengths off the pace. Another couple back to Hula Candy, who's racing next. Then Hula Candy followed at the rail by Lahaina Flavor. Lahaina Flavor about 8 or 9 lengths off the lead. Maltese Falcon is starting to pass some rivals, coming through a very narrow opening. He's just inside Legislator as they move into the far turn, where the lead belongs to Mark's Hip, still by 1.5 lengths to Tesoro in second. Irish Prophet has had a good trip in third. They are followed by Reckless Spirit. Maltese Falcon is next. Legislator racing in between horses with 1/4 mile to go. And on the far outside, trying to make a late bid is Hula Candy. It's wide open. Maltese Falcon with this sustained bid. And what a ride from Rosario to take the lead. On the outside, Irish Prophet is coming after him. Irish Prophet or Maltese Falcon. Maltese Falcon on the outside, Irish Prophet. Irish Prophet. Another for Juan Hernandez.
Zoe, Maltese Falcon made that early move down the backside along the rail, then sustained that run, just got caught under the wire. Now Frankie Dettori climbs in the saddle. We also saw your top pick, Spagliato, kind of close ground late along the rail after breaking from a far outside post, gets that extra distance to run it as well. That's what makes this race so good, is that's just 3 of the runners in this field, and there's others that can contend for the win.
Yeah, he's going to be extremely tough, is Maltese Falcon. I think he's probably going to get... Rosario did nothing wrong.
No.
He got run just down late by a better horse on the day. He was supposed to win that race, but Dettori gets the mount. I think Rosario's got days.
He's
and
at Fairgrounds.
He's going to the Fairgrounds.
Yes.
So he's not here.
4 minutes to go and 2 races to go as well. So let's turn the page, Zoe. Take a look at race number 8. Begins the $1 golden hour pick 4. We're traveling 1 mile on the main track for $20,000 claimers, non-winners of 3 races lifetime. Scratch the 6 oncoming, leaves us with a field of 8. Number 4, Midnight Fury from the Steve Knapp barn is the 5-2 Maury line favorite. Victor Espinosa in the saddle. Have you ever gone skiing with Victor?
No, Victor spends most of his time at the beach.
He's a beach guy. That's the beauty of California, right?
He's a beach, or he's hiking, running up the mountains.
Yeah.
Like I've met him running up the mountains several times. But yeah, I don't think he's much of a skier.
And let's digress for a minute before we take a look at race 8. A lot of the jockeys spend a lot of time conditioning themselves way beyond what you see here at the racetrack. Mike Smith is notorious for being a fitness guru. There's others who you just mentioned. Tyler Bays is here.
Drayden Van Dyke.
Yeah, I mean, they're animals when it comes to their physical fitness.
Hernandez, Pratt, they all work out. I mean, in the old days, they just used to sit back, drink a vodka, and smoke a cigarette.
Kind of like football players.
These jocks all work out now. If you're not working out, you're out of the loop.
Yeah, you sure are. And it's a competitive colony as well. We don't want to be out of the loop in the start of the golden hour pick 4 here, Zoe, in race 8. Who do you like and why?
4193. Let me just rub some of that chalk off my face here. Midnight Fury. He might not go off favored here. Purely on the Victor Espinosa angle, this best race this horse has ever run was with Victor aboard. That was 3 starts ago, and it starts 50. He now drops in for 20,000. To me, it seems like a logical place. He is winless at Santa Anita, but he's been running in stiffer competition.
And that best race you talk about for Midnight Fury, that also came at today's 1 mile distance, the only time he tried that distance. Race number 9 closes out the day. Keep in mind, we'll have another 9 race card tomorrow starting at 12:30 p.m. But first things first, race 9 begins the $5 golden hour daily double, linking our last race with the last race at Golden Gate. And we're sprinting 6 furlongs in the turf for Calbred, 3-year-old fillies, non-winners of 1 other than. Scratch the 2 also eligibles, 11 and 12. Leaves us with a field of 10. Number 7, Quick Kate, a daughter of Clubhouse Ride, is the 7-2 morning line favorite. We saw the workout for the Shashala. This is another difficult race to close out the card, in my opinion, Zoe.
I know sharp handicappers don't like to go first-time winners, but obviously, like I mentioned, I'm not that sharp. So I'll take the 5, the Shashala, in here with Fresu. That was very impressive, going 6 furlongs on the grass. Now, it was a small field. She only beat 6 others home, but it's not easy to cross the dirt and do everything right. We saw the work that she had back. And I just think she is a filly to beat here. She'll get a very patient ride with Frankie Dettori aboard her. I'm going with her. And she ran a pretty big number. She ran a 65 by a speed figure in that race. I can see Safa's going to be in the mix there for Gary Studi. She never, ever runs a bad race. God, I'd like to own her. 3-year-old filly by Grayson. And Prancing Through Paris, I can see her being in there as well.
Prancing Through Paris has been keeping difficult competition amongst Calbred Stakes runners. Have you ever yourself pranced through Paris, Zoe?
I have once when I was...
Did you go racing or did you go shopping?
No, it was me and a friend. We were about 16 and we caught the ferry over to France and we were going to see Genesis in concert. And this was that long ago. Do you remember when the Brussels truck strike was on? It was on for months and months and months. Anyway, Genesis and the whole truck and the whole crew got caught in the trucker strike and they never made it. So it was my 16-year-old self and one of my best friends were just set free in Paris for the weekend.
Left a bad taste in your mouth. You never went back again.
Oh, no, we had a great time. Are you kidding me?
Well, we always have a great time when you join us on the seminar, Zoe. Thank you so much for your time and insight today. Keep up the great work that you do for all of us who watch you on the simulcast show on a daily basis. It's a pleasure to work with you.
Thanks, TQ.
You're welcome. Thanks to all of you for watching as well. Hope you enjoyed it. Let's listen to Frank Miramati update with any late changes. We'll do it all again tomorrow, guys. Thanks for watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Santa Anita Park, where the track is fast, the turf is firm, and the rail on the turf is out 20 feet. Here are the changes. Nothing new to report. No changes in the first, start of the early pick 5. No changes in race 2, beginning of the early pick 4. Changes in race 3. Blinker notes in the 4th, which starts the pick 6. 5th kicks off the late pick 5, as well as the $3 all-turf pick 3. The all-turf pick 3 today on races 5, 7, and 9. No super high 5. Scratch 6, Red Diamond. In the 6, scratch 2, Miss Commander. We start the late pick 4. 7, scratch 7, Living Life. Scratch 9, Explain This Audit. In the 8th, Golden Hour pick 4 starts with the scratcher number 6, Oncoming. In the 9th, scratch 11 and 12. Golden Hour double starts with the 9th. Enjoy your day out here. Don't forget, we race through Monday, and Monday is Dollar Day. Dollar beers and sodas, $2 hot dogs. The Corgi Nationals are back on Sunday. Full weekend of racing action, including Monday. They'll be at the gate for our opener today in 26 minutes at 12:30.